Hello and welcome to the second of our December sessions of 7th C, D6. You may go, wait, what? This is a hack of the 7th C system, which I have run quite a bit. So before you get upset with me, if you really love 7th C, I have tried. This is a modification to fit more to the kind of style and ways that I run. But I'm using the background and wonderful ideas and details and character picks that they have from the base system. We started last session. We did our session 0. We had our players create their characters, develop those, and then we rolled into an introductory adventure that took an interesting turn partway through. But our group survived, even though the ship that they started on was not their ship, sank to the bottom of the bay that they were at. But we will come back to that. This session is part of the Gauntlet Calendar. The Gauntlet Calendar is an online gaming club that has right now probably about 100 sessions a month that we do. You can find out more about that at gauntlet-rpg.com. We have a Patreon that sort of helps support that and some other things like our podcasts. And, supporting at I think the $10 level gets you like 3-day RSV priority access to the calendar. But we also are trying to have games that are immediately available for new players to try out. We're working on that. And we have wait lists. And, after that 72 hours, anybody can sign up for the games. So you should go check our calendar. Gauntlet-rpg.com to see our webpage and to follow that to where all of our stuff is at. My name is Lowell, pronouns he, him. We are now going to go through and have our characters reintroduce themselves with the elevator pitch on who they are. And I will do a carriage return, and we'll start with Spencer Lord Cavendish. If you could please tell us about your character.
Hi there, I'm Tyler, he, him pronouns, and I am indeed playing Spencer Lord Cavendish, who is an aristocrat and a scholar. He is the owner of our ship, though not the captain. And he is one who wishes to, his concept is a noble seeker of knowledge. He found being home in Avalon kind of dull, but at the same time, he realized that he needed to serve his queen and country in a proper fashion. And so becoming a privateer, outfitting a ship, seemed like it would give him the opportunity to go and learn things the same as helping with his nation. He's pretty bright. He's got skills in scholarship and that sort of stuff, all the things that you would have from a scholar. But he's also pretty convincing sort of guy. Some of the things, my arcana is the road, which activates my virtue when I meet a character, even a villain, for the first time. They treat me as friendly for one scene. And my hubris is envious. I receive a hero point when your hero covets something and does something unwise to get it. I'm rich. I have a disarming smile. I have the university that I attended, which helps me do well when I use scholarly skills. I can speak, read, and write all languages because I'm well read and all. I have an eye for talent, so I hire people well. I have sorcery, which we may get into here in a little bit. I'm a barterer. I'm good at being able to make deals, and I'm well read, which means that if there's something that we need to find out, I'm pretty good at finding a place to learn that information.
Excellent. Your strong points in terms of skills, it looks like are the threes are empathy, notice, and scholarship. Excellent. Then let's move to the left, and Sherry, tell us about Tiro.
Oh, I didn't expect this direction.
I
Okay.
know.
And it's Tyro or Taro.
Tiro.
Taro. And Taro is from Numa, which is sort of the Greece of Thea, I suppose. And I've chosen the concept of Myrmidon. But they are kind of Myrmidon docent. So they came with the ship. They are decent at fighting, actually quite good at fighting. They're a duelist, and they're very, very good at ships, just very good at them. They have sea legs and double dog and married to the sea in dueling. This is what they do. They are a proper sea person, as is worthy of a Numa upbringing.
And your hubris, just to when you're get a hero point when you refuse to leave well enough alone or quit while you're ahead.
Exactly.
Which I can't imagine that causing any problems.
It will be no problem whatsoever.
Athletics and weaponry are your 2-3 level skills.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, excellent. That brings us to Father Matteo.
Yeah, I'm Greg, he, him, and I'm playing Father Matteo. He is from Castile, and he's a priest explorer, strapping young man and a missionary. Basically, he's a priest, a very, devout, but not. Actually, I don't know how to explain it, but he's a believer in the church, but he's very rooted in the world. And basically, they didn't know what to do with him, so they made him a missionary, which fit perfectly because he loves to explore. And so, quirks the arcanas, the thrones. He can cancel fear on his friends, as well as he gets a hero point when he accepts somebody's lies. I think. Oh, muted.
Would you say more dedicated than devout?
Yes, more dedicated than devout. I think that's a perfect. Yeah, excellent.
And your motto?
Oh, who am I to doubt?
Okay.
Which he uses that to pretty much as an excuse for him to do what he wants, as opposed to any other reason.
3 in athletics, 3 in convince, and 3 in empathy. So good set of skills at high level there. That brings us to Ozrin.
Yes, I'm Patrick Kehem, and I'm playing Ozrin Sokolov, also he, him, who is from the Sarmatian Commonwealth. He is a soothsayer or genus, I think, maybe. I have no idea how to say that. It's a lot of consonants. But it basically means that he's been trained and has taken on the guardianship of a demon that was wandering the world, daemon, a devil thing. It lives inside of him, and he's its jail keeper, but they have to live together for a long time, so they've slowly made concessions and deals with each other. Specifically, Ozrin has made the deals of storm and sea with this demon, which are fundamental to its nature, which is why he had to leave the sort of cloistered demon understanding life that he was supposed to be leading and wandered out onto the ocean. Let's see, he's really good at sailing and weaponry, because here on the ship he's the quartermaster. He takes care of fixing and maintaining and oiling and resewing and all sorts of things for every little bit of the ship, including the weapons, which is why he knows them so well. My quirks are to earn a hero point when I use something evil for good or when I solve a problem for the crew. And my arcana is the glyph, which I can stop magic from affecting me by spending activating my virtue, and I can gain hero points when I solve a problem while refusing to use sorcery or artifacts or magical things because they're not trustworthy. They're probably all full of demons. For being totally honest, like outsiders just don't know what they're dealing with, right? But it's probably all demons.
It's demons all the way down. That makes sense.
Yeah. Sorceries are storm, which lets me, if I make a, sort of deal with the devil sort of thing. I can make really big, nasty storms, or I can call down fatal lightning. But as a smaller thing where I just spend hero points, I can summon a powerful updraft of wind, which lets me do like Jedi leaps or survive deadly falls. And I can, I like this one, gain the ability to cause lightning or a crash of thunder for one scene to serve as a distraction. So basically I just have dramatic point-making thunderclaps, and I couldn't think of a more useful power than that.
True.
I haven't chosen out all the things for the sea yet, but one of them is that he's going to be able to move and breathe underwater like it were air.
That's a good one. Yeah.
He's really good out here on the ocean. I'm handy, so I can spend hero points to fix things. I also speak a lot of languages. I can spend hero points to pick a lock or crack a safe or things like that. I've got sea legs, so I'm really good, out here on the ocean. I may have mentioned that. I have my weakness is your strength, which is when I get way down in wounds, I can empower everyone else by making myself even worse. And I can inspire generosity to spend a hero point to get someone to give me that thing that you're holding right in your hand. I just want to see it for a minute. I promise I'll give it back, probably.
Excellent. Everyone can clear the harm that they took, even the dramatic wounds, because we're going to kind of move forward a little bit here. So you can do that. We're going to come to the NPC creation, and I'll talk about the captain in just a moment. Just to remind everyone of our safety, we are definitely using the X card and our standard open door policy, and also lines and veils is the baseline. So our lines right now established are hard lines on harm to children, homophobia, racism, sexual assault, slavery, suicide, torture, child abuse, and then veils on childhood abandonment, graphic gore, harm to animals, and sexual content, and then an ask first for things involving bullying or epidemics. So we are going to go to the NPC tab there, and I have added in your captain there, and that is Captain Darbakra. She is from the Crescent Empire, which is sort of the Levant, Iraq kind of area of the world. They follow generally the second prophet, as opposed to the Vaticine Church, which follows the third prophet. Those are all prophets in a line of succession. I don't know much about her, except that after she arrived, she has never left the ship, and makes it clear she's not going to leave the ship. If something needs to be done ashore, it needs the captain's voice to do that. She has a assistant, that person in the first column, who she gives her seal to. But she doesn't explain that. Let me ask you this, my fine owner of the ship. We know that Tiro came with the ship. How did you end up recruiting or having to take on Captain Darbakra?
I think that I think she was recommended to me by a friend. As the months and perhaps years have passed, I somehow wonder if there was maybe a bit of, I wouldn't say maliciousness, that seems highly unlikely, but I will say that having a captain that refuses to leave the ship is somewhat unusual, and but there's no doubt of her skills.
Absolutely. There's moments when you suspect it may have been at least on the edge of it, maybe a fey joke in some ways that caught you in its sight there. So we are going to go around and have everybody come up with an NPC. Even if you don't have a picture right away, just giving us a name and kind of what they're about is cool, and grabbing one of the boxes on the NPC tab. So Sherry, I'm going to make the next step over. Who do you want for your NPC?
I'm going to make an NPC named Cornelia Bell. She, her, there's a picture in the NPCs tab. She's an accountant, not a bookkeeper. She will make very clear to you. But she has come to the ship, I think, actually as part of the owners, circle in some ways.
Okay.
She handles the finances and the letters of credit and all of that stuff, but she's, as much as anything, her intent here is to figure out how these routes work, so that when she goes back to England, she can set herself up as an investor and accountant for how do you say, sailing ventures and things like that. But she's extremely determined. She came with no skills whatsoever, and she has learned to use knives to defend herself, and she takes that very seriously. She trains with Tyro whenever she can avail upon them.
Let me ask you this. You mentioned they were from Avalon. Is she from Avalon proper? Is she from the Highlands? Is she from Innismore?
I think that she's from Avalon proper, but probably like the second or third generation, previously from
one of the other areas.
Yeah.
Okay. That
She has
makes
astoundingly red hair.
okay. I put her position on the ship's sheet.
Thank you.
As a purser.
Yes, that would
That
be a
seem right?
fine word.
Okay.
Yes, but she will only say she's an accountant, not a bookkeeper.
Okay. Greg, do you have an idea for an NPC?
Yeah, I was thinking Giovanni.
Okay.
And what I was thinking was an older man. We'll say he's been I don't know, is it sea hand? Who works the ship? Is that sea hand or?
Yeah.
Just
the people who have been there, master mariners, midshipmen, are veterans.
Okay, he's a midshipman. I think he's more like blue collar.
Okay. Yeah.
And if people are up for this, I was thinking that he could either be somebody who expects he's either extremely devout, Vaticine, and either expects more from Father Matteo than he's prepared to give,
Okay.
or can be someone who is part of the church, but like basically seen the world. And so he can also, on the flip side of that, be someone who, I don't want to say like pokes holes in Father Matteo, but maybe someone who has a more mature relationship with his faith, and maybe is a little bit just like, oh, another young guy is a priest who doesn't know anything about life or what he even believes himself, kind of thing. So either one of those, I can
I
put that out to you.
Almost think the first one would be more interesting, because I think the world is going to try and poke holes in your faith.
I like that. Yeah.
But to have somebody who wants you to do all of the fine ceremony and all of the proper things, and maybe gets a little bothered when you're not willing to do all of the chants.
Yeah, excellent. But yeah, he's been on the seas a long time.
Okay. And then Patrick.
Yeah. So I have someone, Sula Nash.
Okay.
I do have a picture for him. Things and stuff. There we go. I really like that picture.
Ooh, nice.
But she is basically she's sort of life-debted, partnered, indebted to the captain. She is a very deadly fighter and introduces herself as the captain's bodyguard, which is a strange position for a ship, especially a ship where the captain doesn't get off. But she will involve herself in fighting happily. She will involve herself in keeping the ship from not sinking in an emergency. And I think like when the crew is on land, she often acts as the voice of the captain, like saying what the captain has decided or enforcing things that the captain has laid down.
Awesome. Excellent. I like that, and I like that picture you got there, which brings us to Tyler.
All right, I think I've got one. Dead-Eye Pete. His last name is Copperpot. That's a good Apollonian name. Him. And he is our navigator. And I have a picture for him that I will put in. I shall have such lovely pictures. And I think that he has come to us, I'm not going to say recently, but certainly since we started sailing.
Okay.
When we ran across a merchant ship that was in terrible distress, and we rescued the people on it, and the ship went down, he decided to stay on as crew, and we have since learned that we got a very good bargain on it, as he has over the years traveled all over and is a magnificent navigator. And there he is in the pictures. The only thing that might be a little odd about him, and maybe is something that our more devout members of the crew are having some little trouble with, is he is incredibly foul-mouthed.
Excellent. I think that is appropriate. And I think this first person that we have here, I think we're going to make them the ship surgeon. It was an image that we had in the other game, but it was only one session, and I like that picture so much I needed to use it again. So let me get a good name for her. So. And she is also Sarmatian like yourself, Sokolov. So let me grab that. All right. So last time we decided that the ship was an Avalonian ship, which means that you get 2 extra dice whenever you do risks involving what do you call it? The outrunning or speed, maneuverability, any of those kinds of things. But you also are going to start with a background for the ship, which is going to give you a special ability. And then I believe that, Sherry, you took Married to the Sea, so you're going to choose an additional special ability. So there is a tab for this. It has these things, as we kind of may have to scroll over at the bottom to get to it, but there's a thing called Ship's Benefits. The second column has backgrounds. And then you'll notice the thing in red there are adventures. Basically, your ship can gain experience. And it's not like you get experience points. It's when you do a particular thing, then from that point forward, you get that benefit. So essentially, when you accomplish storyline things, like when you convince a hostile ship's crew to join you through negotiation, coercion, or intimidation, you add to your crew's strength. When you lead your crew into singing of a sea shanty during shore leave at a seedy port tavern, you're allowed to bring your crew strength back up, that kind of thing. So you'll see those. So if you look through the backgrounds, anyone have like one or a couple of those that you're like, this is one that we ought to have? I'm going to let the owner have final say. But Greg, Patrick, any of those look interesting to you?
And where were these backgrounds again?
Oh, it's a very last tab in the character.
Oh, it's on
keyboard.
the tab. Awesome.
Yeah.
Ship benefits. Gotcha. Oh, let's see.
What's the mirror?
The mirror.
Your ship sailed the frozen waters.
Looks like polar sailing.
Yeah,
so
it's the
probably
polar
South
ice
Pole.
north of the sort of the Scandinavian, Norwegian, Viking analog.
Let's see. What about I like the heroic captain or the wait, where did it go? What's the mascot one?
Oh, around the
horn.
Around the horn.
But yeah, I'm fine with whatever.
Okay.
Nothing was really screaming out to me.
Sure. Patrick, any of those crying out to you?
Well, I was reading through Port of Ghosts because, ghosts, but
It's really applicable
for the things to activate it.
Yeah, it's for a particular background and stuff, really.
Gotcha. Then I'll like captured by pirates. Your ship was captured by pirates and probably sold to another pirate at one point. It's been installed with smuggling components and hidden cargo places.
Lord Spencer, do any of those appeal to you? Do you have another one that you wish to lean towards?
Well, I definitely, you know me, I'm gonna like the Round the Horn because I love having animal-y companion-y things. Those always make me happy. How many do we get? 2? And
well, you're going to get one, and then Sherry gets to pick one because she took a background.
Gotcha. Sherry, I'm curious, are you thinking of the Numa one since you are from Numa? Are you? Because that one is really nice.
What's that one?
Lasio's favorite. Your ship has visited the ports of Numa, and in so doing, received a blessing from the heroes of Selassie, the Numenari god of the sea. The first time a hero gains a hero point each session while aboard this ship, she gains an additional hero point.
Fancy.
So yeah, if you're going with that, then boy, both of y'all's are good.
Should I give you 2 backgrounds, Tyler? Should I be a generous GM?
You are always so kind to generous. I would hate to.
Well, it just so happens I have 3 spaces for backgrounds, so that seems like a reasonable thing for us to do.
All right then. So yes, I wholeheartely agree with all of my crew's choices.
Okay, so let me grab the name of Sherry. The thing. Come back over here. So tell me the 2 that you're going to take then.
Captured by pirates. Which I think that's marvelous. And Around the Horn.
Okay. What is the mascot?
I think it's a lemur.
A lemur.
I like lemurs. They're creepy and weird and climb well, and they walk like people.
They are quite the thing. Let me copy this text.
So we went to alternate world Madagascar at some point.
Yes. Paste. So we'll get everything in here. Format, we'll wrap the text. Blah, blah, blah. I want to put the wrong place. We'll see. And Captured by Pirates is the one that gives you the cargo benefit.
Yeah.
Okay. Copy. This is, because we know that's the thing there. Okay.
Oh.
What?
Nothing. Someone disappeared, captured by pirates.
Oh, that wasn't the actual text. It was a copy of the Round the Horn one. I need to trim down the Captured by Pirates because it's a little long, so I'll need to trim that down to fit it in that thing.
Okay.
Basically, it is a hidden thing and the lemur. All right. So we've got some of that. What is the name of the ship, Tyler?
Ooh.
I saved this for last. This will give me time to copy and paste this thing over while you're considering that.
Here's a random name generator if you want one for pirate ships.
Nothing random. No.
Oh, sorry. Didn't mean to insult your creativity.
Oh gosh.
I've got the beginning. I'm just coming up with what it's.
You didn't use the Wu-Tang name generator for the ship name?
This ship ain't nothing to muck with.
That's
Okay. Let's see. It's obviously going to be named in honor of our queen, my queen. So let's see. Let me find her name again real quick. Elaine. The Bonnie Queen Ellie.
Bonnie Queen Ellie.
Tyro size.
All right. So where we left off last time, and we're going to kind of set up the frame for that. and then we're going to roll forward to a location, and we'll kind of give you a chance to see how you travel, who you are, and what happens when you go ashore. So last time you were given the task of rescuing a young Avalonian nobleman, someone who had decided that the life at sea was for them, and they had stowed away, and then came to regret their choices. And eventually they were captured by a ship from the Atabian Trading Company. Essentially, this is our sort of villainous capitalist group. In the group in the world, they're the equivalent of the oh God, what was the name
East
of the
India.
East India Company in the area. You followed and tracked them down, and under cover of darkness, boarded the ship in an attempt to wrest back this young lad, and seemed to be going well. But then circumstances changed, and a fog rolled in, and a dark ship bearing forces from beyond the grave smashed into the vessel you were aboard. You were able to rescue some people, and you were able to get off of the ship before it was sunk by this hideous pirate crew of the undead, whose glaring eyes stared across the waters at you even as the ship went down. So you've had a few days of sail from that to turn the sails, keep watch out, make sure you haven't been followed, and to keep an eye on the environment around you. But now you have headed to the port of San Sancha. San Sancha is not a major city, but it's a decent sized city in the colonies there. These are colonies that some of them have wrested their independence. Some of them are under the flag of Montaigne, some under the flag of Avalon, some under the flag of Castile. Right now, there is a triangle. Essentially, Castile was invaded by Montaigne, and in fact, the king of Castile is under the control of Montaigne at this moment. Essentially, they have the king, for his safety, held up in the royal palace, and they have a lot of Montaigne troops there and so on, watching out for them. So there's a kind of a struggle going on in Castile between the church that would like to maybe push to have more control, the nobles, the grandes, who are there, who maybe would like to push to have a different person on the throne, and then the people who love their king. And there is a masked vigilante figure known as El Vagabundo, who has tried to break out the king, and is certainly wanted. He's one part Zorro, one part Scarlet Pimpernel in this world. But so there's this tension between Montaigne and Castile. But then the third leg of this stool is Avalon, who neither Castile nor Montaigne like, because of their breakaway church and Queen Elaine's dalliance with the Fae. And so here in the Atabian Sea, in these colonies, there's still a good deal of that battle that goes on. But there are some ports that have assumed a kind of a neutral character to them. that by sort of mutual agreement, no shooting, no fighting goes on in the waters outside of them. These are places that are less important, but they're good places for trade, and that is what San Sancha is. It's a good place to go to refuel your water supplies, to reload, to deliver cargo, and so on, without maybe getting entangled in things. And, as an Avalon ship, if you're flying under those colors at the moment, to get in without, say, raising the ire of Montaigne or Castile. And in fact, this San Sancha technically is a Castilian city, but it has a Montaigne governor, and it's much looser than it otherwise would be. There's a good deal of control from the Ateban trading company and so on. So it is a crossroads. It's also a place where you can check in with your patron, the agents of your patron, the queen, as to how matters are situated. And it's also a place where you can deliver the young nobleman too. So what do you suppose is the mood on the ship now? We're a couple of 3 days away from that incident. We're another day away from port. What do you think, Lord Spencer? And have you tried to change the mood, or are you trying to stay out of the way? What do you think?
First, I want to ask.
Yes.
So going through that, it sounds like at the moment Avalon is not at war with anyone.
Avalon is in that kind of not open war, but privateering, firing on ships in that way.
Okay.
Like people,
Montaigne.
and Montaigne. Well, even Castile, because
They're taking over.
Technically, the Avalonians are still heretics, and certain Castilian captains might use that as a casus belli if a particularly rich Avalonian ship were to get in their sights.
Yes, that makes sense.
There's a lot of convenience in all of this for people.
Gotcha. And of course, theoretically, we could go into port and suddenly find that there's been open war declared and somebody tried to seize our ship.
Yes, exactly.
Okay. Then, yeah, I would have, after reporting to the captain what we had encountered, and because we had to actually flee. The ship had to kind of flee from the other one, right?
Yes,
ship.
you were the pirate ship spent its energy on destroying the other one, and you got out of there as quick as you could. You weren't sure if they were pursuing you, but you did not want to take that chance.
I imagine the crew was bothered by this, though. Especially if they were able to get a look at what this crew was that was pursuing us.
Did they? Let me ask you this: did they get a look at him?
I don't think so. I don't think that they were close enough to see that. But seeing a ship explode at sea is disturbing in itself. So having seen that, it's put them on edge. And probably, when as we were coming back, there would have been we probably should try and keep most of the crew from being aware of the dark nature of that other ship. Father Matteo, I turn to you as one of such spiritual knowledge. What would cause such a dark thing to turn its gaze upon us?
I've never seen anything like that in my worst nightmares. I've never seen such a thing. Are they Are they people who have turned away from the glory of God? Are they directly in line with Satan? I don't know.
Well,
I've prayed long and hard on this, and I don't know what to do.
I would say, and I'll look across at uh, the four of us and the young lord, spreading tales would not do the crew any good. Um, they will be most frightened were they to know of this. Ozrin, I know that you are knowledgeable in some of the darker things that lurk across there.
I've seen strangeness on the winds, but what makes you think they were after us? Evil, I've tended to notice, is drawn directly to its victim, to its feeding grounds. That ship was going straight for the company ship. We were just there at the wrong time, surely.
Let us hope that is the case, though I must say the gaze that came from that foul captain, well, were I a lesser man, it might have struck fear in me. Let us then hope that we have put this malignancy behind us. Would you agree? I'm sure you're bad like me, but you don't have your character name up either. What is your
Tyro.
Tyro? There we go.
Sorry.
I'll
Fix
put mine up too. Tyro, would you agree? Perhaps spreading tales amongst the crew would only do us harm.
It would do no good, certainly.
Then, young man, I am going to ask you to not spread these tales either. You can surely see that you were quite lucky that we found you when we did. I will depend upon your gratitude to keep you from having loose lips.
Aye, master. Aye.
And we will try to get you home. I am assuming that you wish to return to the Glamour Isles. Yes. Very good. A fast ship will be found to return you home. We will then speak with the captain and let us keep the more unusual aspects of this rescue to ourselves.
Father Matteo, do you adhere to that? When you reach back to the ship, you have a few days that you're mixing with the crew, and some people ask you, what happened, Father?
He adheres to it, but he doesn't straight out lie. So he'll say things like, "Oh yes, someone else came. I didn't get a good look at them. They were surrounded in fog." Yeah.
What caused the
And
other
I was
ship to
I'm
go
trying
up?
to come up with his holy, rather than sign of the cross, his church does that.
Oh, I like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Is it? Well, did the powder catch? Is that what happened?
Oh, I can. It was some pirates.
Oh,
It had to be, or there was some sort of fight on the ship. I don't know what happened. But it just some sort of fight that happened. Luckily we got the young master out of there. But it was great. I was able to climb right up the ship, and Ozrin, he was in trouble, and then I got him, and I ran and carried him and put him down, and then ran, and then I helped the captain. I saved him, or Lord Cavendish. I was able to save him. I saved him and the thing. Oh, it was awesome. Oh man, I'm so glad I'm here.
Yeah, I think you definitely turn their inquiries away to your tales of heroics. Will certainly make them. Oh, all right, all right, all right.
Like, think I could have been in a monastery. I mean, can you believe that?
And Tyro, what is your behavior in the days following?
If anyone asks Tyro about it, Tyro will retell the stories of glory of Father Matteo and then go back to essentially doing his ship stuff that is very, very calm about it all.
Kind of recite what Father Matteo has said verbatim.
Exactly. In that way that no one can tell if Tyro is joking or serious. It's very, very uncertain. Tyro does, however, spend a certain amount of time in the undership, like with the ballast and stuff like that, like checking to see if there's some changes that can be made to a ship for a faster sail away.
Okay. And what of you, Ozrin? What do we see in the days here?
Ozrin keeps himself busy and usually has something in his hands that he's working on. And I think the lower crew quickly learns to stop asking him about what happened on that ship, because he generally stays pretty quiet and scoffs at any wild theories, but he's very sure that if you have enough time to be asking about ghosts and sea witches and monsters on the sea, you definitely have time to be splicing that rope over there. So why don't you get to work on that stack over there? And that railing over there needs to be oiled again.
You have time to lean, you have time to clean, that kind of thing.
Exactly.
Okay. Yeah, and so they probably stay out of your way. Of course, then if there's that voice in your head that's saying, "That's it. Keep them calm. Keep them complacent. We wouldn't want them to be prepared or upset or anything, would we?"
We want everyone to be calm. We want all these questions and annoying comments to just stop so we can all get back to our work.
Absolutely. I think that is a marvelous plan. The thing is, that way you won't spoil the surprise.
That way people can keep their minds on their duties and not on strange, otherworldly things over which they have no control and should have even less interest.
Are you talking about them or you?
Talking about this railing that needs to be fixed. It's got splinters running all up and down it.
Very well. And it's a good wind that carries you into the port at San Sancho. You take a bit of time to check the flags flying on the ships to make sure that there isn't a preponderance of a particular nation or an absolute absence of another one. And if it does look like we're still at that same mixed level of competition and so on. And the captain will ask to speak with you, Lord Spencer, Lord Cavendish.
Of course. And I would have let her know about what we saw, the real story.
Sure that. She says, you will check in with our patron's agent in San Sancho.
Yes, and we need to deliver the young master.
Yes. And your agent's name there is Guy Angleton. And she will say, speak with Angleton. He should be able to deliver. There is a purse promised for the upkeep of the ship. So make sure that he remains to his word on these things.
Are There are other things that we might need, Captain. I have some resources, and we do wish to make sure we're well stocked.
I give the people who need it, give them their liberty for shore leave. Speak with Sokolov and have him set the rotations for who goes ashore and so on. But I do want you and your compatriots to take the temperature of the place and see if Angleton has other tasks that he needs performed. If there are ships to be hunted or things to be done.
Very good, Captain. And I take it that you will not be going on leave yourself?
Well, I'll be going on leave.
Oh, a chance to stretch your legs off the ship.
No, that would be a very bad idea.
I see, Captain. I do worry sometimes that you don't get a break from ship life.
You have been extremely polite in the years that I've known you, but not asking directly.
And nor shall I. Very good, Captain.
And she will dismiss you. And again, it's a busy port, so there's a pilot that comes out in a small boat and leads you in up to the docks. You have the opportunity to take on cargo if you want. You probably don't have anything in your hold at this moment, but you've got 2 spaces for that. So certainly people could go and look for those things. But it is a busy port. So I'd like to maybe frame with you taking the rest of the PCs to go see Angleton, and then we can have the PCs at their liberty to explore the city, pick up rumors, find things. Does that seem fair?
Yeah, and would it make sense to take the young master to him and drop him off with Angleton?
Yeah.
Yeah, cool.
And it's a busy crossroads. It's that sweltering Caribbean heat, just in absolute haze. Wendell, the lemur, comes to, as he does whenever people disembark, goes over and stands and, salutes everyone as they leave. That's his little ceremony. Is very cool. And if people don't respond back, he starts screeching in a lemur howl there until people will do that. But you'll get to the dock and you'll head over, the 4 of you, to the section of town populated by emigres and merchants and officers and such from Avalon. So there's definitely the smell of Avalonian food, so bland, topped with more bland on it. And Guy Angleton will greet you and be pleased to see you, and be pleased that you have retrieved the young master. And he will provide a purse to you and a few additional coins for your members here, just to kind of not enough to rate a wealth, but enough to give you a few days of extra luxury here.
I would have made a point when my introductions were there, obviously, that he knows that I am Lord Cavendish, but would have also had in my introduction to meet him that I am a glamour knight.
And he would have taken a long pause before he continues it. I was unaware that such an illustrious personage would be sent out to such duties, Lord Cavendish?
It is for our queen that we go forth. I was curious if any other knights have made port.
No, but in a bit, and he kind of looks around at the others, I will speak to you on a matter not unrelated. Please introduce me to your fellows.
Absolutely. If I might present Father Matteo, our spiritual guide upon the Bonnie Queen.
Oh man, this place is so cool. Man, you live here?
I certainly do have my offices here, young father.
Oh well, this place is beautiful. It's just absolutely extraordinary.
So first real trip at sea, I take it.
Oh yes, this is my first voyage. Glory to God the Father, of course, but yeah, first voyage.
Yes, as you say. But no, it's I'm glad that a stout young man of spiritual interest as yourself has the opportunity to travel in our circles here.
And may I present Tiro, a formidable and most capable warrior of Numa, whose qualities I cannot speak highly enough.
Excellent. You're the ship's master of arms, or we are well met then. It is good to see an able crew. Again, younger than I might have seen for such these days. But
and our quartermaster Ozrin Sokolov. I again have been most lucky to find such worthy companions in our voyages, and Ozrin, well, I could not hope for one better, and I am open to the idea that your port will provide much to interest him.
Mr. Angleton.
you're Sarmatian.
Well, we're all from somewhere, aren't we?
That is the statement that does not confirm what I said, and in fact feels slightly evasive to me.
Huh.
You're Sarmatian?
I am of the ship. I fix what needs fixing.
Much tumult in Sarmatia, so I can understand why you wish to identify as you do.
You've not seen tumult until you've been on a ship in the middle of a storm.
Fair enough. Angleton will say, and the gesture where his servants will kind of close windows, things like that, to kind of give some privacy, and he will say, "I've had the young master handed over to a fast ship that we're returning back to Avalon."
Very good, thank you, sir.
But I have been asked to pass a task on to you and your captain and your ship.
Oh. Is there trouble?
Yes, but it is more difficult for me to define the shape of it than I might otherwise wish. These orders come from the Privy Council.
Oh, my.
We have reason to believe that an agent operating in the pocket of Montaigne or Castile, it's uncertain, fled to here from Avalon, possibly via the Inish. They We believe that they have some report or intelligence or map.
Spy.
Yes, that they are to hand off to an agent or representative of Montaigne present in San Sancha.
Oh dear. Dangerous secrets missing from your homeland?
Ozrin, please. Well, then
Let me tell you what I do know.
Yes.
We believe that. Let me take away the phrase that we believe. What we know is that in San Sancha is the salon of Lady Sarah Bernardino. She's of Castilian extraction originally, like yourself, Father Matteo. Her husband is from Vodace. She has been here for a few years. We suspect that her salon is used as a place for assignations, handoffs, such. We're not sure how invested Bernardino is in the process, whether she does this for entertainment or money, or how deeply she is involved. But we believe that you may be able to find the spy and who they're handing off to and the items at this event if you can make your way in. I can give you a description that we have of the agent who fled, but we also have reason to believe that they are skilled in disguise, mundane and otherwise.
Oh, I see.
We believe that's part of the reason they went via Inish, is to take some glamour from the Fae, that there may have been people involved on that side of things. So if you could, with your nobility, find a way in, and perhaps find some of your others a way in, either above or below board, and see what you can do about obtaining these letters or documents.
Of course. I do have a couple of questions, if you don't mind. First, this spy is Avalonian?
They were born in Avalon.
Oh, a turncoat. Nothing lower. Next, I would ask this Signora Bernardino.
Yes.
Do you know or have any rumors of her position on Montaigne's movements within Castile?
I think that is something you'll have to ascertain for yourself. Publicly, she seems to support the status quo as it stands now.
Well, perhaps we'll find that there's a patriot within her heart.
Perhaps she does, and she looks to you, Father Matteo. She does adhere to the faith of the Vatican Church.
That is good to hear. I'll look to my companions. Any questions you might have, friends?
What was the exact nature of what was taken? Documents, evidence, simply knowledge of the mind?
We don't know, but we know it was important enough to rush them to here across across the ocean. I wish I knew more. I desperately want to know, because that kind of haste suggests something of import. And why not deliver it to the mainland, to Thea itself, rather than coming out here? That makes no sense to me.
Yes, it is a long trip, and Montaigne would be much quicker.
Exactly. So why come here?
Any other?
Made the trip so obvious. How did the trip come to the attention of your people?
We were, as I understand it, just behind him as he escaped from Inish.
It could have been just a ship of opportunity. Or Tyro, do you think this may have been purposeful to lead us here?
It's a strange maneuver that seemed to raise, suspicions. So if you wanted to draw attention, this would be the way to do it.
Well, I suppose we may be searching for a red herring, but it is probably better to cast our net and find out. Unfortunately, if we do not catch our quarry, then, well, more than likely, whatever it was is now in the hands of the King of Montaigne.
Pardon, but when precisely did they arrive here?
Yes, Angleton, do you know?
2 days ago.
2 days.
But Lady Bernardino's salon is not until tonight.
And we saw quite a number of ships in port. One would guess that once the pass-off is made, it would be very hard to discover which ship it went on. I see. All right, then. Are we, looking to the three of you, do we feel we have as much of the situation in hand as we're likely to have? Well, then. Mr. Angleton, thank you very much for both your generosity and for your time here. We will be purchasing certain provisions, and we will report to you as soon as we learn something.
That would be appreciated. I have my means to send messages back to Avalon, should you have information.
Good day to you, sir.
Good day to you.
As we dip out and have a moment, just us, antechamber-y kind of thing. Well, I can't say that was enormously enlightening. Father Matteo, I don't wish to pry, but what are your opinions of the Montaigne capture of your king?
I mean, it's an atrocity. I mean, how dare they? The Montaignes, they've always antagonized. The Castiles, we've always wanted peace across that bay, and the Montaignes, they just, I don't know what they're thinking, but this is horrible. This is by far the worst thing they've done.
Well, there's nothing more perfidious than the Montaigne. I wholeheartedly agree with you there. Do you think that maybe if you had a chance to meet the Signora, you could subtly inquire to her loyalties?
Yeah, subtlety. That's something I could always be working on. Sure.
Yes, working on, yes. Oh. Well, I think perhaps we should pay her a visit, maybe, Father, if you're interested.
I think it's what we should do.
Um,
I mean,
Ozrin?
if the Montaignes are involved, nothing good could be happening. We need to get to the bottom of this.
Ozrin, Tiro, do you? I would think perhaps that the two of you might have other avenues. Tiro.
I'll certainly go to find out what it is that grants one an invitation to the salon of Lady Bernardina. I assume any number of novelties. So see what I can press upon.
Ozrin, any thoughts that you might have?
I don't know, just that I find it rather odd that a spy who never broke cover ran without stealing anything that anyone can remember to mention, and is being chased halfway across the world to retrieve no one's quite sure what.
I will say that it is highly likely the Privy Council and Her Majesty know what was stolen. That does not mean they would inform Mr. Angleton.
Well, they should be prepared to accept the same sort of vagueness in return that they put out into the world, shouldn't they then?
The point is that our queen will recover what is lost.
Yes, I'm sure she will, here in this fine city.
Thank you, Ozrin. Well then, I would suggest perhaps that Father Matteo and I see if we could call upon the lady today, just a friendly hello. Maybe not even wait for the salon, just a chance to speak with her. And perhaps Tiro, Ozrin, look about, see if you can find anything out.
Absolutely.
The ship is low on supplies, and this is a city for gossip. See if anyone's talking.
And Ozrin, I do know that we need provisioning. Have you been given sufficient funds to do so? Do you need a bit extra?
Well, I mean, it depends on if we want to make it to our next port or not. If we're fine with just listing slowly across the waves, then what I have should suffice.
I'll reach into a pocket and hand a bag over. Well, let's make sure we're not listless. And I'll hand a wealth off there.
Ooh, you're muted, low.
That seems more than reasonable. Let's do this. Let's take about let's say about a 9-10 minute break. And when we come back, we'll kind of do a once around, checking with what people are doing, gathering rumors, following up on those things, and set up towards our next step. Sound reasonable? Okay. So, Tyro, you have this later part of the morning, afternoon to check around the port of San Sancha to find out what you want, buy things, check into things. What do you want to do?
I think that I probably will go. I will get Cornelia. I will tell her that I need her assistance. I will take her out. We'll walk along the port side, look at the ships and stuff, and then I say, we need to get a sense of which of the ships have come in the last couple of days. So clearly like asking her to look some things up. I will buy her a flower to put in her hair. And because it's lovely and tropical here, right? So I'll let her choose that. And essentially, if her husband is Vodashi, then she has at least some love of, what do you say, a good duel would be my guess. So I'm going to see if I can confirm that in any way. I will go to check. I assume there's some sort of news sheet or something like that that would have gossip and social news in it.
That seems reasonable.
Mm-hmm. I will read that to get some sense of who it is that Lady Bernardino tends to invite to her salons.
So what do you think that is skill-wise?
Notice.
Scholarship? Notice?
Notice, probably.
Okay. And wits, I assume?
Yes, that seems to be the only thing. So yeah, so 5 dice.
+1 first time using the skill in this sort of dramatic set of scenes here.
Okay. And then all I have to do is remember that we are supposed to have a roller. Here we go. Oh no, I went to the map. I'm the worst. Sorry, guys. There it is. All right. So Tyro, so that gives me 6 dice.
That gives you 6 dice.
D6s. I want to get the right kind of dice.
D6s.
All right, I'm going to try that. I'm looking for 4s, 5s, and 6s.
Yes.
3 6s and a 5. So 4 successes.
4 successes. So you will find that her husband is someone who travels back and forth, who is a tradesperson. She stays here year-round and has made herself a little corner of the social scene here. So highly placed nobles who would come through, captains of good stock who would come through, trade officers, those kinds of things, but also poets, scholars, zoologists, botanists, those people who are traveling here for exploration, those kinds of things, but also people who have a unique perspective or skill set are also invited. Dueling masters or musicians or exotic folk, like from Ursura, if someone were to travel all the way here from those hinterlands, they might get an invitation. What else? You've got a couple extra successes there. What else do you want to ask, or what do you want to do with those successes?
I think what I mainly want to do is working with Cornelia, lock down the ships most likely to have brought our person in. Essentially, that we're looking for to give me a sense of like where to start looking, if that makes any sense. I want that information so I can narrow things down.
I think that you will be able to find that the ship that dropped off, that came from Inish and dropped off, left very quickly. Sort of unusually. But
it's usually hard on a ship to do that.
It's hard on the ship, and there's some scuttlebutt about there having been some problems on the trip, and some nervousness on the part of the crew. And generally, the thing that you're getting from them is that they had a bad feeling about San Sancha, and they opted to to depart quickly.
A bad feeling about San Sancha. So, and this is an Inish person, I mean, Inish crew, or what? I mean, what would that mean?
It's a diverse crew, but came in from Inish. It says to you that something happened that you don't have the details of that has gotten under their skin.
And from when it got here, and you said it was rushed. So was it like supernaturally rushed?
Not supernaturally rushed, but if you had your druthers, you
Yes.
wouldn't have turned a ship around that fast.
Okay. All right. But I meant the trip here wasn't supernaturally rushed.
No.
Okay. All right. Okay, that's good to know. And then since they are like a bit of a talk of the town, then was there any witness to who actually departed from the ship?
Yeah, there were a handful of people that disembarked.
All right. Okay. And if I can get
You
any
can get the
sense
basic
of-
description, but you also know that this person does have disguises.
Absolutely. I guess what it is I'm looking for some things that I could easily like say, well, definitely not this, if that makes any sense.
Okay, I think
But,
that
you know, so, okay. Yeah, that would be the first thing that I want to get. That
Okay.
was just to involve her, to let her see the island, and yeah, and to get a bead on that ship.
Ozrin, what do you do?
So, like I said, we need to restock the ship, especially, a couple barrels of like blubber to keep things dry and some oil for the lamps. I think we need some new sail thread and probably some lumber to shape into replacement parts.
Mm-hmm.
But, the nice part about these sort of port city markets, shipyards, the sort of working class of things is that they're constantly focused on all the ships coming in and all the gossip coming in from the outside world. And I'm guessing that in the days he's been sitting on his hands, we're not the first people Mr. Angleton has tried to send out to get some information for him. So there's got to be rumors going around about something about the Avalonians in the area. And so I think Ozrin would be like in the middle of things, complaining about this Avalonian noble that's like stuck on their ship, and how he's just constantly complaining this and that about his queen and the politics back home, and he just seemed so agitated the last couple of days getting here.
It certainly has an air of truth to it when you say it quite like that. So, well, what do you think is the appropriate skill for sort of hitting the streets, gathering this information, pulling it together?
Let's see. Finesse, is that purely a physical thing?
It can be however you want to read it. It is very much like a approaches.
Gotcha. Okay. Finesse and maybe empathy to
Sure.
sort of feel out the people that are responding to his vibe. Just 5 and 6 for the first time.
Yep. Let's see.
1, 2, 3. 3.
So I'll tell you a few things. When you speak about Avalon, you're talking to people and trying to pick up on rumors of the strange, the unusual, of the mysterious. One thing that someone will say to you is that, well, there was that Avalonian expedition that went missing just a week ago.
Oh, I've been on the waters for a month at least. Tell me.
No, it's a ship with natural philosophers, explorers, scientists, such that headed out.
Doomed souls.
Oh, no, but calm waters. It should have been good sailing, but they went missing. And it's not. I know that there have been some people looking around and about for it, but there's some fear The pirates might have gotten to it, but it was very strange.
That is unfortunate. You know, that is, these naturalists, though, they learn all of their knowledge on the land, don't they? Once you get out on the water and try and rely on that knowledge, I don't know if it'll back you up.
Oh no, I'd agree with you, except for what happened at Nostromo.
Stromo?
Yeah, the mining town, and up closer to where the Rahori are. It's been settled there, and a ship docked there just about a week and a half ago. And it's just supposed to be a thriving, but it's a mining town. Silver. They landed and there was no one there. Nothing was burnt. Nothing was destroyed. Nothing was cracked. But a whole mining town, I mean, upwards of 4 or 5 dozen people. No one there.
The town and the mine abandoned?
It's just no people.
How far away from here was it that he was talking about there?
Oh, it's a couple days sail.
Gotcha.
By the way, when you ask me distances, that's how I'm probably going to say it most of the time. Oh, it's a couple days sail.
Yeah, I mean, just right by, a middle distance, way far away. That's all I'm looking for.
13th age measurements. Far away, nearby, and close. That's it.
The sea is a profitable beast to work upon, but a beast nonetheless. And sometimes it gets hungry.
You shouldn't call the sea a beast. You shouldn't call the sea a beast. She's jealous. Can't say things like that out loud.
She knows good and well what she is.
They make the sign and stay well away from you. Speaking of which, Father Matteo, Lord Cavendish, do you want to go in with the presenting yourselves as a noble and his clerical follower, or as a priest and his friend the noble?
What do you think? I'm presuming are you happy to do this visit with me?
Oh, certain. Yes.
Okay.
Whatever task has to be done, I'm there.
Then that does give us two different approaches.
I mean,
Father,
don't ask me to lie.
I would never ask you to lie, my friend.
Excellent. Thank you. Yes. I just sorry. Just,
We shan't be lying. What I would love to find out is that she has, like you, a stout heart for her king. If so, that we would find an ally in this salon, and perhaps we could locate this spy and, well, with her help, just take him away. My fear, however, is that she has been corrupted by the Montaigne.
But she is a Montaigne, right?
No, she's Castile like you.
Okay. Excellent. Father. Yeah, excellent. Okay. And she married Montaigne, or I'm sorry, looking at the notes.
Yeah, that actually, it looks like that's an error. She's of Castilian extraction. Her husband is from Vodace.
Gotcha.
Vodace.
Okay. Yes. Okay. Oh, if she's Castile, we shouldn't have a problem at all.
Well, then, perhaps, if you agree, go visit. I will come as your boon companion if you don't mind. Happy to meet and make her acquaintance, but as well as a traveling father, I'm sure that I believe it was mentioned that she is strong of the faith, and who knows, maybe you would even be asked to take a confession. Not that you would ever divulge what was said, but it would, of course, give you some insight here. But
who am I to doubt? Who am I to doubt my role in the great mystery of life?
Well, then, yes, then let us go, and you can present yourself there as an itinerant father.
You arrive at the walled estate. Clearly, this is a very nice house, good trading money that came in. It's one tier down from the governor's mansion. You know, smaller, less ostentatious, but beautifully done. And you arrive, and you'll be greeted by a doorman. You will, you know, become to understand that you're a traveling priest from Castile, and your noble companion. You've come to pay a call on Lady Bernardino, and he clearly looks at you, pauses, looks at you again. He's like, all right, hold. I do not know. The Lady Bernardino is preparing for her salon this evening, so she may be occupied. But you will come in, sit in the garden, and I will have water brought for you.
Well, thank you very much.
And you sit. Water with ice is provided.
Oh.
And
it feels so good.
yes. The water is, it's the condensation on the side of the glass running through your fingers. And about a half hour later, Lady Bernardino, accompanied by a couple of her ladies in waiting, or handmaids, I guess in this case, will come down, and she looks a little puzzled, but she comes out into the garden, and she looks and she says, "You are Father Matteo?"
Father Matteo, Madame. Yeah, I'm. We've been traveling, and I heard that a fellow Castilian runs the salon, and I'm from Castile as well, and wanted to pay my respects. And this is Lord Cavendish.
A pleasure, my lady.
You are Avalonian.
That is quite true.
Well, this makes for strange bedfellows, as it were.
Well, as I say, who am I to doubt the wisdom of our Father?
Are the two of you traveling together?
Shipmates.
Yes. And what is your purpose here?
We recently rescued a young noble who had been taken captive, and we delivered him from the clutches of the wicked, and have him return safely home. And
may I ask who the wicked were in this case?
The kind of people who steal nobles. Some greedy people. What?
The company, I believe, madam.
Huh.
Where avarice just runs amok.
Father Matteo, let's have you roll to make a good impression, to perhaps lower her guard a little here. What do you think you want to use for this? Is this convince? Is it empathy?
I'm thinking it's right now. It seems like convince.
Okay.
He's trying to win her over.
And what is the appropriate trait for that, you think? Finesse? Panache?
I was thinking panache.
Okay. So
All right.
that's 6 dice. It's the first time you've used it in the scene, so that's 7 dice, and you get to re-roll one of those dice.
All right. So 7 dice plus a reroll. Wait, what? What did I just do? Oh, roll the dice. Gotcha. Bam. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then the re-roll is just roll one more.
Re-roll any one of the dice that you want to roll.
Do I click it?
Yeah,
or
yeah. Just do a new die. Just do
Gotcha.
1d6. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, just do this. Bam. Oh wait, did it go away? Oh
Yeah.
man.
So it just
what did
pushes it down, but you can mouse over. So you've got
yep.
4 successes. So she is clearly amused because she is used to bishops and sophisticated priests and so on leading expeditions to come and visit her, and here is this
guy isn't 6 months out of the seminary.
Yes, mendicant priest who is rough around the edges, maybe even generous in its description, and this has with him an older Avalonian noble, and she seems sort of taken with trying to figure out exactly what plans Lord Cavendish has for you, and why you've been dragged along. So yeah, she is definitely pleased to talk with you. She's definitely faithful in the sense that she follows the Vaticine Church. She goes to church on the proper day of the week. She gives regularly. She has her own priest from the church that comes to see to her spiritual needs several times a week. But you also get the sense in speaking with her that, how to best put this, her allegiance is malleable. Like when you talk of matters of Castile and Montaigne and those kinds of things, she's very, oh yes.
And I will be attempting to give them some space, especially when they get into like Castile politics. I want to let oh, your statuary is lovely, and kind of wander away so that Matteo has a chance to, we're both Castile, not have some Avalonian ears listening.
You definitely have the sense that she considers herself cosmopolitan and above those kinds of allegiances. These are the colonies. Things are different here. One, strange bedfellows like you and your friend.
Yes, of course. Yes.
The wars of Thea, there in the distance, they are of less import here.
This is the new world.
It is. We are more given to matters of philosophy and consideration and those sorts of things. Though you have the sense that she says philosophy and science and so on, but she's clearly also interested in mercantile business. She's clearly mercenary in her intents. Does that seem like fair info?
I was curious. I was to ask her. Your salon is quite legendary. And it's open tonight. You'll be hosting people.
Father, it almost seems as if you are fishing for an invitation.
Oh, I mean, I've come to travel the world, and it's so nice to see a fellow Castile you know, even though I've come here to get away from the old world, a bit of home always warms.
And you can tell that her hesitation is more that she's afraid of throwing you in with the sharks kind of thing.
Okay.
But then she says, well, if you will permit me, why don't you and your friend Lord Cavendish return here this evening and have a chance to see for yourself how actually legendary. I mean, I assume our discussions of philosophy and religion will pale in comparison to your recent time in the seminary, but we might have something to offer.
Oh, thank you. My honor, my lady.
Lord Cavendish?
I've been wondering, the guard giving them space is polite, but I'd really like to give a look over this place.
Absolutely.
I'm giving the check for accesses, how easy it is for people to get in and out, places that people, how it's set for the
notice or theft. Either one of those would be appropriate.
I'd like notice. Now, I'm trying to figure out, university gives to notice, but I'm curious
when it relates to the particular field,
like my field of study.
Yes.
Okay. Then, I mean, I guess it would be early end archaeologist would be. I mean, I'm a scholar looking for the new and weird things of the world.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I don't know if case in a joint quite
I don't think
from
so.
my university.
No, if this were one of the Nauka Empire or an older facility, maybe I would think that would be appropriate.
Right. So, I'm going off of probably wits, I guess, and and notice. So
extra die.
7 die. And I'm rolling, and I'll have a reroll, I suppose.
Yeah.
So 7 die, roll away. Well, I see at least one I'm re-rolling. 5, 6, 4. It's 4 better, right?
4 better.
Okay. So 3 successes so far. I'll re-roll one of the ones,
okay,
we'll say. And get a 3. But it's at least not a 1.
So that's full success. What is it you want to find here? What is it? Is it? I mean, you'll have a general sense that you can pass on to your compatriots, but what is it that you're looking for?
Honestly, I'm looking for ways that I can have people sneak to be around, able to enter, or perhaps more importantly, able to ambush someone trying to sneak out. I'm trying to make sure. Yeah.
Which one do you want? Do you want an easy entryway or a place of concealment near the exit?
I want a place of concealment near the exit, but also mainly, the big one is I don't want there to be a bolt. I'm looking for bolt holes where someone can run out.
This place is made for people to slip out quietly, and I think you can spot that the 2 easiest places that you could, if the situation warranted it, you could send your compatriots there to cover those entrances or such to make sure that escape is not permitted.
Okay, that's what I was looking for. Good,
okay.
Thank you.
Yeah. Do we want to do another once around, or shall we kind of let's do that then? Then let's return to you, Tiro. You've had some time working on things. What else do you wish to do?
Let's see here. Is there anything in the newspaper about who is invited to the salon? Like who is likely to be invited?
So you'd like to get some some names of people who will be coming this evening?
Mhm.
Okay. That feels like a notice or scholarship.
I'll use scholarship since I haven't yet. Uh, it's 6. I'll use this fancy 66 roll thing. That's great.
Ooh.
I know. Oh, it's a horrible roll though. So 2s. So 2 successes.
2 successes. And
Mhm.
is your notice a 2 or a 3?
It's a 2.
It's a 2. So I think you will get just 2 names. How does that sound?
That sounds great.
You will know that a captain of the company, of the Atabin Trading Company, will be attending this evening by the name of Granquist.
Grandquist.
And then a newly arrived duelist who is said to be scouting about for establishing their school. And she is named Master Ciara Mentaro.
Yara Montaro. And Montaro. And what is her duelist style?
She is actually said to be an offshoot of the Aldana style.
Ah. Okay. That's the
Castilian one.
Yep, with the main gouts.
Well, they tuck one hand behind their back.
Yeah.
And fight forward with their saber.
Very, very cute. Okay.
Cute.
Well, they present less of a target.
Yeah, they keep their profile narrow
Exactly.
to evade. But you have the sense from talking with people that there's kind of a wild number of people here that people have been excitedly awaiting this, and that there have been people that have been calling on her to try to gain an invitation in the last couple of days.
Oh, all right. Well, I think I might. She sounds fascinating, and I definitely would go see her. But I actually am going to ask a question with the thing of we saw that pirate ship take down the company ship, and
Yeah.
there were men left on the island. Correct?
Yes, there were.
As a Numa of the sea, I would want to report it so that someone would go and get those sailors. Correct?
That's probably a good thing to do.
All right.
Assuming that the undead didn't spill over onto the island and murder them.
Oh, well, it still has to be, how should we say? Investigated.
Mm-hmm.
So would I go to? Is there a company here, or would Captain Grandquist be the more direct route to?
I assume you would want to keep your involvement out of this.
Mm-hmm.
Then what you would probably go is to like a friendly compact of captains, a kind of informal assembly of those, and speak to someone there, kind of off the record.
I would find a Newman captain to spread the word. Correct?
Yeah.
Okay.
And he greets you, fades into Newmanese, very, very glad to speak in the mother tongue again, grips you, has you sit down, has wine brought for you, cheese, all that kind of thing, and is generous to a companion, and says, "So, what can I do for you, cousin?"
And I say, on the sea, and I give the general area that we were.
Mm.
We encountered a ship that had taken a young man and kidnapped him. When we went to rescue it, that ship was overcome by, and I'm sure there's a Numa word for the undead pirates, the one that you could say that but not say that, if that makes any sense.
Again?
And so it has been occurring recently.
Yes. It is not the devil Jonah. It is not that, but I know of at least 2 other instances where those vessels of the undead have been seen in the Atabian Sea of late. But those were sightings, but an actual attack.
Yes, and the ship was sunk. It was anchored, and there were men on the island. There's some chance that they are still there, still alive, but I don't know how long they will have.
I will go and present myself at the company office and pass this word on. Your name will not be brought into this.
And I try to get the deets of where these other attacks were.
And he'll give you some basics on that, and he'll say, this is very disturbing.
And she stops and goes, have there been new ships of that before? I've only heard of Jonah.
There have been historically ghost ships, but to be out and about so brazenly, it says to me that there's something afoot. When the winds turn this way, there's someone calling them.
And I'll give them any details that I can about like the nature of the cannons that were used and that sort of thing. Like, did they seem supernatural in retrospect, or did they seem more like regular cannons? And did they have to be, reloaded and that kind of thing? It just if I could think of anything, right?
Yeah, he'll give him the details. He's like, I wish I knew more about these things.
It's better not to know more, though, isn't it?
And, you are right. Please wrap the cheese up in the wine, and you take it with you. Yes, and the bread too. Yes. And you walk away with like more food than you're going to eat the rest of the day. Is very generous in his gifting to you.
I will not refuse.
Big thing of olives.
Ooh.
I hate olives so much. There you go.
You're so wrong. You're so wrong.
Ozrin, what are you up to? What is it
just
else?
Admiring your outlook on olives. Your very correct outlook.
I am so correct. Disgusting.
So I think this like missing expedition with the naturalists has sort of caught his attention, and if there's anybody around here that's going to know something, or at least is going to like fanboy out about a naturalist exploration going on in the area, it would be like cartographers.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So I want to go find somewhere where there's a good map shop with like lots of weird different sorts of old maps and different books on travel expeditions, scientific explorations. And I want to see if I can scare up some more information about that.
Sure.
That trip.
Let's have you roll scholarship.
Yeah. He's very much like I think he's sort of putting on a bit of a part, being a bit more outgoing and sort of like excited and like more and more into the conversation as whoever he's talking to is like starting to talk about details or little scientific tidbits. Maybe like I think this might be panache. Sort of a puffing up and getting someone caught in charisma. 3, 4. And I'm sorry, do hero points do anything for dice rolls?
You can spend a point to give yourself an extra die. If you were spending it for another person, you'd give them 3 extra dice.
That's right. Okay. I will spend 1.
That makes sense.
So that's 3 plus 1 for the first time and 1 for hero points. That's 5. That's good. 3 successes, 6, 5, 5.
So you will talk with a cartographer, one who knows the area and has been active. And what is it you want to know?
I want to know what they were wanting to explore, or where they were wanting to explore. Like what was their focus of exploration? What was their focus of science?
He'll detail about the like butterfly hunting and naturalists and that kind of stuff. But then in the middle of the conversation, as he's kind of talking about these things, and then of course there were the scientists who were gathering the fauna, and he realized that he's kind of turned like to a different thing. And as he goes on, you realize that there have been, he's kind of enough that he's kind of getting them mixed up. A number of vanishings of scientists and philosophers and experts here in the region. He talks about, the missing expedition at Nostromo, but he also mentions the other things, and it's a weird pattern that he clearly has not picked up on.
No, that was the mining.
That's the mining one, yeah. Like there's a set of different vanishings, and he's kind of wandering through. But besides the naturalist thing, he mentions people in other areas throughout the region. He talks about there was a weaponsmith who arrived, set up shop, had been here for a good year, an expert, and just vanished.
So I'm like geeking out about some of his maps about the area, especially sea lanes. So I'm just trying to so you say like this, the expedition that disappeared, it was going up this way, and I'm trying to get him to show me some of like destination or routes that some of these missing expeditions were following. Is there any sort of similarities?
It actually bothers you how divergent it is. The spread and so on gets your hackles up that there's some supernatural force at work. This is not a conspiracy of a few people like sending people out to kidnap people. With the span of times and the distances, there's something afoot here of a significant supernatural nature.
I
could tell
you. Sort of like trying not to be noticed by this clerk as he's whispering a little bit to himself.
What was that, sir?
I was saying, my captain would be glad for maps of this quality and recent surveys, and I'll lay down some coin. I think I'll spend that point of wealth to pick up some really good maps here of the.
We will give you the latest maps of the sea lanes from the that have been most recently updated of the islands and the regions here around the Atabian Sea.
And I'll thank him and sort of like rush out of the store and try and find a alley or something where I can dip into a bit of shadow, stand to the side of people. I think like probably pull out like a pipe, pack it a little, and smoke, and use sort of the action to cover up him muttering to himself. He says, "Fine, you saw it too. It was weird. It was unnatural."
Mm-hmm.
Well, you're the
Well,
one
what?
who deals with unnatural, aren't you?
Mm-hmm.
Monsters of the deep, storms on the ocean, that sort of thing.
Are you asking me for something?
I'm just asking if you know anything
Oh, yes.
about these disappearances.
Not directly.
Do you know anything that could help me in this investigation?
Oh, I know
of these
many things
disappearances?
that could help you.
We'll stick to the naturalist expeditions for now.
Mm-hmm.
That you know something helpful about,
Yes.
and would like desperately to tell me.
No, I don't think so. Not for free in any case.
I think it's for free with you, is it? Years of protection, good room and board, nice warm place to sleep at night. But still, it's always about what you want out of things, isn't it?
You make it sound as if you're a hostel rather than a prison for me.
I make it sound as if I'm the most accommodating place you could wish for an evil and unnatural creature wandering through this world.
Well, now I'm hurt. And he goes quiet. Let's come to you, Father Matteo, Lord Cavendish. Is there anything, Father Matteo, that you wish to do before this salon this evening?
Yeah. No, I don't think so. He,
Okay.
Yeah, he like checks in at the local church.
Mm-hmm. They will greet you. What is the news from the homeland? And you know, of course, as they're talking to you, eventually kind of realize that you're very much a newly sent out, and so you were sent without a particular destination.
Missionary.
But missionaries are assigned a place to go to. Where's you're assigned?
They just put me on a ship.
Really?
Yeah, they just put me on a ship and said, good luck, spread the word.
Well, they must have the highest of confidence in you to give you such a task.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I mean, to think I could have been stuck somewhere with my, nose in a book. I mean, it's beautiful here. I mean, this is a paradise on earth.
Yes, the priest you're talking to goes, well, yes, shuts his book. It is lovely. Mind you, we're more interested in the tending of the souls.
Well, Father, that's why I'm partly why I'm here. On
Please.
this ship, I saw something that I could hardly could hardly believe.
What did you see, my son?
We saw. I saw a ship of undead, of skeletons with glowing eyes.
Fiends, abominations from the deep?
Yes. I don't know. I don't know if these were infidels who are doomed to walk the earth, or messengers of Lucifer. I don't know. I don't know what to do.
You are not the first to come here and tell us of such visions. It is lucky for you that you did not directly engage them.
No. Of course not. Of course not. No.
Their very presence can darken the soul and bring corruption to those who face them.
No. Of course not. Yeah, I stayed far away from them. Very far away.
Well, excellent, my son. Well, please come. We're about to do an afternoon service. If you will come and join us.
Certainly. Or actually, I gotta be going. I went to mass this morning, so I'm good for the day. I'm good.
Well,
But thank you, Father.
May the prophet be with you.
Hey, thank you.
And Lord Cavendish? All full of mass.
Sorry. Oh my goodness, I love Father Matteo. Oh. Whew. So,
again, just to remind you, we assume that you have information from previous scenes.
Right.
You can act on those.
Father Matteo, you gave at least me the information that she's kind of on the take, right? Okay. So I think as I leave and I bid farewell to Father Matteo, if you don't mind, I'm just going to look back at it, and I'm going to start kind of walking around where she lives. The neighborhood, I'm guessing ritzy, right?
Oh, absolutely.
Is it so ritzy there are no urchins about? I'm always fond of urchins.
There are beggars. They're kept a ways away, but you can't keep them away all the time.
Okay. I'm going to circle about a bit until let's see. Hang on, let me check something real quick on our lines and veils. All right, I guess I shouldn't put urchins might be harm to children.
Exactly.
Yeah. Okay. So I always feel bad doing with beggars, though. But I
imagine them like it's less urchins and more like the older Baker Street irregulars, the teens and such that are out.
I'm looking for a bit of that kind of the local tough, the kids running about, the young people running about.
Afternoon, governor.
Exactly.
You know?
Okay. And I'm gonna kind of I'll give you the full lay of what I wanted, then we could come to the nub of the thing.
Sure.
I'm going to kind of wander about this area looking to see a little of the dissolute youth that hang about and are doing things.
Mm-hmm.
And keeping an eye out for who looks to be the kind of the ringleader of some of these little gangs. And then heading over towards them and engaging in a it would seem that you seem to be quite an important personage in this area.
It is good of you to notice, my noble friend.
I have always thought that there is no one like a native to give you a proper understanding of an area. I'm betting that you are quite the knowledgeable sort of this neighborhood.
One could say that. If you are a newcomer, I could certainly help acclimate you to the area.
I would appreciate that. And eh, along with that, I wouldn't mind. I suppose you're an enterprising young man,
Oh, I am.
and perhaps a business proposal.
Interesting, sir.
You see,
Please speak your piece.
I am going to be going to a party here.
Mm-hmm.
One of the lovely homes. Signora Bernardo.
Oh,
No.
we know Bernardo. She chases us away, but she gives alms on the weekends.
It sounds like a lovely lady. I will be going to one of her soirees.
Well, aren't you the hoity-toity?
I suppose I'm really being invited by a friend. But, my young friend,
Mm-hmm.
there is someone who will also be attending the party, who I have a feeling is going to want to avoid seeing me.
All right.
I would love to have some enterprising chaps around the home, just to keep an eye out if anyone seems to be scurrying away, especially if they're trying to scurry away without being noticed.
And, Governor, on 2 points of my question here, if you will permit me.
Yes.
First, in such a case, what is it that you wish to be done? Do you wish a hue and a cry? Do you wish a knife to the back?
No knives to the back, young man. Though I do like your nature there. I will say a hue and a cry. I imagine that.
So we're to give a hue and a cry and make noise if anyone tries to sneak out.
And perhaps get in their way, slow them down a mite.
Get in their way. So anyone who tries to sneak out, we raise a hue and a cry, and we try to trip them up.
Yes, that would be sort of what I'm looking for, yes.
And sir, if I may ask, what remuneration would me and my band of orphans, starving, be receiving for such tasks?
Oh my gracious, I hate to hear of such squalid condition. I am always
It is a
one to care
too
for.
tragic story.
I have, and I'll pull out a bag and jiggle it. I have a bit to hand you here to get your gang together, and I will meet you tomorrow as I hand him the bag and give you 2 times more. And I'm giving him 1/3 of a wealth.
He says, we are at your disposal, sir.
And I have an eye for talent.
I know. He is ready and willing, and his eyes glint. He's clearly smart enough to know that he needs to do this job well.
Young man, I foresee a great future for you.
Well, that is good, sir. That is good. A good future for me that involves me getting the other 2 parts of this thing.
Exactly. I'm asking because I feel like the currency's one you got to dig at. Am I showing a bit of that? Not just fancy clothes and courtiers.
Yeah, I'll give you that one. Let's do that. Yeah.
Thank you.
And I think that leads up to where we're ready for the salon, which I think will be where we're going to start next time. Does that seem reasonable? We'll go over the details of what you've heard and all of that kind of thing, and we'll start with Matteo and Spencer arriving and figuring out how Ozrin and Tiro wish to enter, or if they wish to be above board or below board, as it were. Reasonable? All right. So I'm going to stop the recording.